Hi, friends! Today I want to share a new story with you. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Lucas, and my story starts with a new beginning at Fix Tech. The first day at a new job is always a mix of excitement and nervousness, and mine was no different. The office was busy, with people rushing around, focused on their work. The smell of fresh coffee filled the air, mixing with the soft sounds of typing and the occasional laughter from the break room. During the morning meeting, I met my new team. Our project manager, Helen, was a serious woman in her 40s who paid attention to every little detail. "This is Lucas," she told everyone. "He's joining us for the new software launch. Make him feel welcome." One person on the team stood out, Leila. She looked confident and smart, and her smile was warm and friendly when we shook hands. "Welcome, Lucas," she said. "I'm excited to work with you." Something about her made me feel calm and curious at the same time. Over the next few weeks, Leila and I often stayed late at work, fixing bugs and sharing ideas. We quickly became good friends. She was clever and always ready to help, making the long hours easier. We also found out we liked some of the same things: classic books and hiking. One Friday, as we finished up work, my phone rang. It was Oliver, my best friend from college. "Lucas, I have an idea," he said excitedly. "I got 2 extra tickets to the new amusement park. Let's make it a double date. I'm seeing someone, and it'll be fun." I looked at my girlfriend, Emily, who was busy on her phone. We had been drifting apart lately, and I hoped this day could help us reconnect. "Sounds great," I said, trying to sound happy. I had no idea that this day would change everything. When the day arrived, the amusement park was full of noise, music, and laughter. As I parked the car, I felt both excited and a little worried. Emily was still distant, scrolling on her phone. I hoped the day would bring us closer. As we walked to the entrance, I saw Oliver waving. Standing next to him was Leila, smiling brightly when she saw me. "Leila," I said, surprised. "What a small world." Oliver looked confused but laughed. "You two know each other?" he asked. Leila chuckled. "Yeah, we work together at Fix Tech." "What a coincidence," she said, giving me a knowing smile. Emily finally looked up from her phone, curious. "This should be interesting," she mumbled. The day was full of laughter, roller coasters, and funny moments. We screamed on rides, shared cotton candy, and played games. Leila and I even won a big teddy bear together, which made Emily a little annoyed. I noticed that Emily and I were more distant than ever, while Oliver and Leila got along so easily. As the sun set, we went on the Ferris wheel. The view from the top was amazing, the city lights twinkling below us. That's when Oliver shared some big news. "We have something to tell you," he said, hugging Leila. "We're getting married." Everyone cheered, but I felt a strange sadness inside. Emily's face turned serious, and I knew we needed to talk. After the ride, Emily pulled me aside. "Lucas, we need to talk," she said quietly. We sat on a bench away from the crowd. "What's wrong?" I asked, though I had a feeling I knew. Emily looked away and said, "Seeing Oliver and Leila so happy made me realize we don't have a future together." Her words hurt, but deep down, I knew she was right. We had been growing apart for a long time. The drive home was silent and heavy. A few days later, we officially broke up. It was mutual, but it still left me feeling empty. At work, Leila noticed I wasn't myself. "Are you okay?" she asked one afternoon while we were working. I thought for a second and then said quietly, "Emily and I broke up." Leila's face softened with kindness. "I'm sorry, Lucas, breakups are tough," she said gently. "If you ever want to talk, I'm here." Her kindness helped me more than she knew, and I started leaning on her for support. Later, Oliver and Leila's wedding was a beautiful, happy day, full of love and hope. I stood next to Oliver as his best man, hiding my sadness behind a smile. The wedding was held in a beautiful garden, filled with the sweet smell of flowers and soft music from a small band. Leila looked stunning in her white dress, and Oliver's eyes shone with happiness. Later at the reception, I found a quiet spot to clear my head. Leila came over, her smile kind and caring. "How are you holding up?" she asked, looking into my eyes. "I'm fine," I lied, even though my heart was heavy. "It's just a lot to take in." She reached out and squeezed my hand. "You're a great friend, Lucas. Thank you for being here," she said softly. Her touch was comforting. and for a moment, I let myself enjoy the peace she brought me. As the night went on, I watched Oliver and Leila dance under the lights, completely in love, even with my own pain. I was truly happy for them. They deserved every bit of their joy. I had no idea that this was only the start of a journey that would change everything, drawing me closer to Leila in ways I never expected. Life can surprise you when you least expect it. The first Monday after New Year's felt ordinary. The air was cold, and people at work chatted about their holidays. I was busy working on a proposal when my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered anyway. "Lucas, it's Mike," said a voice I hadn't heard in years. Mike was an old high school friend. "Sorry to bother you at work," he said, his voice tight with emotion. "It's about Oliver. He was in an accident." Fear gripped me. "What happened?" I asked, my voice shaking. "There was a car crash last night," Mike said. "Oliver was in the passenger seat. A car crossed into their lane. He didn't make it. Lucas, he died early this morning." The world around me spun. I grabbed my desk for support. "No, that can't be," I whispered, unable to believe it. Oliver, my best friend, the one who always made people smile, was gone. The next few days were a blur. I went to his funeral, held in a small chapel. The sky was gray, matching the sadness in the air. Leila stood at the front, looking so pale and broken. During the service, she broke down crying, and the sound of her sobs filled the room. I had to cover my face with a handkerchief to hide my own tears. After the funeral, Leila stayed home for a month. When she came back to work, she looked thin and tired, her bright spirit dimmed. One morning, she stopped by my desk, trying to smile. "Thanks for all the emails, Lucas. I'm sorry I made you worry," she said quietly. "Don't mention it," I said, my throat tight. "I'm just glad you're back. If you need anything, I'm here." Over time, I couldn't get the image of her sad face out of my mind. I started sending her short emails every night, asking if she was eating and sleeping okay. She usually replied with a quick thank you, but I knew it meant something. One evening, I decided to call her. "Hey, Leila," I said, trying to sound casual. "A few of us are going out for dinner. You should come." There was a long pause. "I don't know, Lucas," she sighed. "I'm not sure I'm ready." "Please," I said, "just for a little while, it might help." After a moment, she agreed. "Okay, but I might not be very good company." We met at a cozy restaurant near work. Leila barely touched her food, but seeing her out of the house was a good sign. Later, we walked home together through the cold, empty streets. "Lucas," she said, her voice shaking, "do you ever wonder why bad things happen? Why did Oliver have to die?" I didn't know what to say, so I simply answered. "I wonder all the time, but I think what's important is remembering him, and living in a way he would be proud of." Her eyes filled with tears, and she cried softly. I gave her my handkerchief and rubbed her back, feeling helpless but wanting to comfort her. "I'm really alone now," she whispered. "All that's left of Oliver is his picture." I walked her home that night. Inside her house, there were photos everywhere, and a small candle flickered next to Oliver's photo. The sight broke my heart. "I'm sorry, Leila," I said, my voice cracking. "I wish I could do more." "You already are," she replied gently. "Just knowing someone cares helps." As time went on, we kept walking home together, and it became something we both needed. Leila started to heal slowly, though sadness still lingered in her eyes. She threw herself into her work, maybe to block out the emptiness. One evening after dinner with our co-workers, we were walking when she suddenly asked, "Lucas, why do you always walk me home?" I smiled. "I don't want you to be in danger. If anything happened to you, Oliver would kill me," I joked. She chuckled, and for a moment, her eyes lit up. "Thank you, Lucas, for everything." When we reached her door, she hesitated. "Would you mind coming in? I can't reach the light bulbs in my foyer and dressing room." "Of course," I said, trying to act calm even though my heart was pounding. Inside, I changed the bulbs while Leila watched, smiling slightly. "Thank you," she said warmly. "It's funny how much you need a tall person sometimes." I laughed. "Good thing I'm tall, then, otherwise, you'd be stuck in the dark." Leila laughed too, and it was the first real laugh I'd heard from her in a long time. As I stepped down, our hands brushed, and the moment felt electric. "Why are you so kind, Lucas?" she asked quietly, her eyes searching mine. Because I care, I said, my heart racing. You mean a lot to me. For a second, we just stood there, looking at each other, but then I pulled back, thinking of Oliver and the friendship we shared. I should go, I said quickly. See you tomorrow. Good night, Lucas, she said, her voice full of unspoken feelings. The next day at work, we acted normal, but every time we looked at each other, it felt like there was something hanging in the air, something we weren't ready to face yet. As the months went by, our bond only grew. Each night, as I walked her home, I felt a growing need to protect Leila, wanting to shield her from more pain. One evening, after a long day at work, Leila turned to me as we reached her door. Lucas, I need to ask you something, she said, her voice shaky. Do you think it's possible to be happy again after such a loss? I looked at her, seeing hope mixed with vulnerability in her eyes. Yes, Leila, I replied softly, I believe you can, and I think Oliver would want you to find that happiness. A tear rolled down her cheek, and she smiled faintly. Thank you, Lucas, you always know what to say. That night, as I walked away, I couldn't help but wonder if, in the middle of our grief, something new and beautiful was starting to grow. Time has a strange way of healing. The pain doesn't go away, but it does fade, leaving scars behind. As the months went by, Leila and I fell into a comforting routine. Our walks home at night became a peaceful escape, where sometimes words weren't needed. Our connection grew, built on shared memories of Oliver and a growing respect for each other. One crisp autumn evening, we sat in a cozy cafe near the office. The warm scent of coffee filled the air as Leila stirred her cappuccino absent-mindedly. We sat quietly, sipping our drinks, until Leila sighed and leaned back in her chair. I'd been thinking about volunteering, she said. I think it's time I did something positive. That's a great idea, I said, impressed. Anything in particular? There's a youth center nearby that needs help, she said. They help kids with school and activities. Oliver always said we should give back, and I think he'd be happy knowing I'm doing this. That's wonderful, Leila. I'm sure the kids will love you. She smiled, her face lighting up. Thanks, Lucas, it feels good to do something meaningful. That night, I felt hopeful. Leila was healing, and her strength was inspiring. In the weeks that followed, Leila thrived in her new role at the youth center. She often shared stories about the kids she was helping, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Our walks home became lighter, filled with laughter and warmth. One evening, we stopped in a quiet park. Leila turned to me, her voice full of excitement. I want to show you something. What is it? I asked, curious. She grabbed my hand and led me to a small garden. The flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, filling the air with their sweet fragrance. In the center stood a bench. This is where Oliver proposed to me, she said softly. I haven't been here since he passed, but I wanted to come back with you. I felt a lump in my throat. Leila, this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing it with me. She smiled sadly, and we sat on the bench together, the night wrapping around us in silence. One evening, after a fun dinner with co-workers, we were alone in her apartment. The others had left, and we sat on the couch with glasses of wine, the fireplace flickering softly. Lucas, can I ask you something? Leila's voice was hesitant. Of course, I said, wondering what was on her mind. Why do you always go out of your way for me? Sometimes it feels like more than just friendship. I looked into her eyes, knowing it was time to be honest. Leila, you mean a lot to me, more than I realized. I care about you deeply. I think I've been falling for you. The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Leila's eyes widened slightly. Lucas, I've been feeling the same way, but I didn't know if it was right. With Oliver. I know, I said softly, and I don't want to rush you, but I had to tell you how I feel. A tear slipped down her cheek. Thank you for being honest, and for always being here for me. The following weeks were full of quiet moments and growing feelings. Our walks and dinners continued, but now there was an unspoken understanding between us. One night, as I walked Leila home after dinner, the air felt charged with emotions. At her door, she turned to me. Come in for a minute, she said. I need to change a light bulb, but I can't reach it. Of course, I replied. Inside, I replaced the bulb. As I stepped down, our fingers brushed, and the tension between us was palpable. Without thinking, I pulled her into a hug, holding her close. Lucas, she whispered, her voice trembling. I'm scared, scared of moving on, scared of forgetting him. You won't forget him, Leila, I said, my voice steady. He'll always be part of you, and I'll be here, every step of the way. That winter, Leila and I found comfort in each other's company, but I needed Oliver's blessing. One cold Saturday, I bundled up and went to the cemetery. The sky was gray, and the air bitterly cold as I stood before Oliver's grave. Oliver, I said, my breath visible in the frosty air, it's Lucas, I hope you can hear me. I paused, gathering my thoughts. Leila and we've grown close, I care about her deeply, more than just as a friend. The wind picked up, rustling the bare trees. Oliver, I love her, and I promise, I'll take care of her, I'll protect her and cherish her, just as you would have, but I need to know it's okay, that you're not angry or hurt. Suddenly, the wind died, and the hailstorm began. Ice hit the ground hard, as if the world was responding to my words. I stood there, bracing myself against the storm, feeling a strange calm as I believed Oliver had heard me. After what felt like forever, the storm passed, and snow began to fall softly. I knelt at Oliver's grave. Thank you, Oliver. I promise to honor your memory and take care of Leila. That evening, I met Leila at our cafe. She looked at me, concern in her eyes. You look like you've been through something, she said. I have, I replied, taking her hands in mine. I went to see Oliver today. Her eyes widened. You did? I needed to talk to him, I said. I told him how much I love you, and I promised to take care of you. And then, a hailstorm hit, like he was there, acknowledging what I said. Tears filled her eyes as she hugged me tightly. Thank you, Lucas, that means more to me than you know. I just wanted to make sure it was right for both of us, I whispered, holding her close, and now, I feel like we have his blessing. We sat together in the warmth of the cafe, the world outside frozen, but inside, we felt the warmth of knowing we were moving forward together with Oliver's spirit guiding us.